If you've plodded through some calculation, you probably have wished you could just press a button and have it all done at one time. For many calculations, this is possible and even easy, done in the right way. To do a bunch of stuff all at one time, you need to be really organized. A way to get really organized in mathematics is to use a matrix. A matrix organizes numbers and variables in rows and columns. A matrix with one row or one column is the simplest. A matrix with one row and one column is just a number. Matrix multiplication is where most of the power comes. To get one value of the product matrix, values in a row are multiplied into a column and added together. This seems complicated until you realize this allows us to represent an equation by a row and a column. Also, since one row operates on one column, it is possible to speed up calculation by giving each row to a different computer. This is the trick used by graphics processors and supercomputers to increase speed. Defining multiplication this way also allows us to make a very nice matrix equivalent for the number 1, called the identity matrix. The identity matrix has 1s in the diagonal and 0s everywhere else, so multiplying a matrix by the identity gives the matrix back. For square matrices, ones with the same number of rows and columns, there is one more interesting matrix, the inverse matrix. Multiplying the square matrix by its inverse gives the identity matrix. This is the best toolkit for solving systems of equations, 2 equations with 2 unknowns, 3 equations with 3 unknowns, and so on. If you have 2 lines and want the point of intersection, have 2 points and want the line equation, or even have 10 points and want the curve that fits them, you have a system of equations. Here are a couple of example equations in standard form. Here they are in matrix form. To get the matrix form, place all coefficients of unknowns in order on one side and all the associated numbers in a column matrix on the other. The coefficients of the unknown terms form the square matrix. The matrix must be square, that is, have as many rows as columns, or as many equations as unknowns. By the way, this is the identity matrix for 2 equations. Here is some theory. Multiplying both sides by the inverse cancels the square matrix and gives the answer to all the unknowns at one time. In a spreadsheet, matrix multiplication is done with the function mmult. The inverse matrix is gotten in a spreadsheet with the function minverse. Here is the inverse matrix for our example. Here is the solution of a system of linear equations in one sentence. Multiplying the number column by the inverse gives the unknown column. Here's the whole thing worked out. Here it is with the associated parts colored the same. Here are the spreadsheet operations in more detail. Convert the equations to matrix form. Select an area for the inverse. While it is selected, type equals minverse . Hold down the Control and Shift keys. Press Enter. The inverse matrix appears. Now select a column the same size as the number of unknowns, say C1 to C2. Type equals mmult . Hold down the Control and Shift keys. Press Enter. The values of the unknowns appear. To get the equation of a line when 2 points are known, the equation is mx plus b equals y, so m and b are the unknowns. The square matrix has an x and 1 in each row. The unknown b has a coefficient of 1. The associated values of y are in the number column on the right. To get the intersection of 2 lines, the equation is mx minus y equals minus b. The square matrix has rows m and minus 1 for each line. The column has the values of minus b. To get the parabola that passes through 3 points, the square matrix has x squared, x, and 1 in each row, and the 3 y's in the column. The method of solving systems of equations works no matter how many equations there are, but each equation has to be unique and the matrix must be square. If that isn't true, the spreadsheet will return an error when using minverse. Sometimes it seems like there are enough equations until you work out that one equation is a perfect multiple of another. That's hard for us to see, but easy for the spreadsheet. Here's the method in short form. Set up the equations with a square matrix and a column of numbers. Multiply the column of numbers by the inverse of the square matrix to get the column of answers. Simple, but the technique opens up a world of possibilities.